Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
It's time for Angel Spring Training Baseball. Tonight from Peoria Stadium in Peoria, Arizona, the Angels get ready to take on the Seattle Mariners. Night baseball here in the Cactus League. Angels will play 4 games under the lights here this spring. Terry Smith along with Jose Mota. Our pleasure to be with you tonight for Angels baseball here on this Saturday evening. Well, Jose, earlier this week we were here. Earlier this week we saw Tyler Skaggs on the mound. That was a game against the Padres. Tonight he'll be back on the hill here at this ballpark. He'll take on Seattle. That game we saw him pitch on Monday, kind of a tale of 2 innings for him.
Yes, and for Tyler Skaggs, come down to just one pitch that perhaps did not go his way, for him to kind of derail a little bit. But you know what? He is stronger than that. We know physically, now mentally is where the mindset needs to go to say, hey, you know what? Regardless of what happened, I'm going to go out there and trust. Going back just, Terry, even the last 2 seasons, you talk about the stamina that he needs, the strength that he needs, the health that he needs, and the ability to go out there and think, I want to be a bigger contributor by staying healthy. Whether it's the oblique, whether it's the elbow, all those things need to come together and just think 30-plus starts because I know my stuff plays well in the big leagues. First Skaggs, going out there and elevating is one issue when that curveball is working right. Going out there and getting early ground balls is another one, but it's going to come down to trusting that he can go out there and fill the zone, repeat those mechanics, control the running game, which has been an issue for him. And all this because there's a way in which a young pitcher needs to be challenged. I think the challenge is now for Mike Scioscia and the Angels on Tyler Skaggs.
Well, Jose, when you talk about Tyler Skaggs, he doesn't really need to put added pressure on himself, especially with the guys that are playing behind him on defense.
We talk about the biggest names in baseball. I mean, whether you're a strikeout pitcher or not, but if you're a contact guy and you want early outs, go out there and pitch a contact. I mean, the Angels have designed this defense. If you are a fly ball pitcher, especially at home, go out there, and some of the mistakes you make are going to be run down with the Angels in that outfield they have left to right. Then defensively in the infield, you got some gold glovers with your catcher. So far here in spring training, we've seen some things on display. You see guys in the outfield tracking the balls down. You make mistakes, let them go out there and do it for you. Guys throwing to the bases, guys turning double plays, and then the catchers for you doing a fantastic job in controlling the running game, working on synchronize with you to let you know that you could be more economical, which turned into one thing, going out there and giving the bullpen a break and getting some early outs, which perhaps keep you in that game a little bit longer.
All right, Jose, let's switch the offense a little bit. The Angels have played over a week's worth of games here in Arizona. How about some players who have kind of stood out to you from an offensive standpoint?
Oh, no doubt. We talked a lot about David Fletcher, what he's done with the bat, but also, you know, a guy like Carlos Perez, the way he's been swinging the bat, fighting for a spot as a backup catcher. Cole Calhoun is 4 for 4 so far. You got a Jeffrey Marte. You got Chris Carter. You got so many guys that quietly, because of the absence of the regular players, are going out there and putting together good at-bats, going deep into counts, and getting their on base where it needs to be. Guys are doing a fine job with Aaron Sinsky now as a hitting coach in driving the baseball. Once you get into a good count, go out there and trust that you're going to find that one pitch and you're not going to miss it. And we have seen balls at the Angels, even though they have not hit a lot of home runs. It's fun to watch when guys score the baseball and use the entire field. It is more than possible the Angels go out there and, of course, get it done with a mix of guys they have now, knowing that the lineup in the regular season will be even deeper.
All right, Jose, how about Seattle? We'll see them tonight. We'll see them a lot, of course, during the regular season, part of the AL West. They were active again this offseason as far as making player moves.
Well, biggest acquisition for them, Jerry DePoto, we know, is a former general manager of the Angels, is going to be busy. D. Gordon comes from Miami, not just to lead off and go across to a different league, but also to play center field, where he had been working out 2 years ago as a young player in winter ball. So for D. Gordon, he's got, of course, that core group of Cruz, Cano, Seager, Zunino, Haniger, that, of course, they hope the starting staff can get all together and have a better run here in 2018.
Well, we'll see what happens tonight. The Angels taking on the Seattle Mariners under the lights here in Peoria. We'll have the lineups and the start of tonight's game. It's coming up next right here on Fox Sports West.
evening here in Peoria, Arizona, Peoria Stadium in the Peoria Sports Complex. Jose Mota with you, Terry Smith. Angels against the home team, Seattle Mariners. It is evening baseball here in the Cactus League. So glad you could join us. And the Angels and Mike Scioscia come over to visit the Western Division rivals, Seattle Mariners. Starting lineups are brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. That's what a hamburger's all about. Luis Valbuena, who's been busy this spring, is playing third base and batting first. Martín Maldonado, Angels Gold Glove catcher, is batting second. David Fletcher is batting third at shortstop. Batting fourth, catcher Rene Rivera today. Rivera, usually a catcher, designated hitter. Rivera, designated hitter, batting fourth. Jeffrey Marte, red hot, first base, batting fifth. Michael Hermosillo, youngster playing a lot, is in right field, batting sixth. Caleb Coward is batting seventh. Coward is batting seventh at second base. Eric Young Jr. is batting eighth in center field. And batting ninth for the Angels, Reimer Liriano, who is in left field, but we'll double check that because we have a couple things here printed. Seattle Mariners, D. Gordon in center. Leading off, Gene Segura at short. Batting third is Robinson Cano at second base. Nelson Cruz, designated hitter, is batting fourth. Kyle Seager is at third base, batting fifth. Batting sixth is Mike Zunino, the catcher. Mike Ford makes a start at first base, batting seventh. Cameron Perkins is batting eighth in right field. And batting ninth is John Andreoli in left field for the Mariners. Tyler Skaggs on the mound for the Angels. Rod Whalen on the mound for the Seattle Mariners. Terry, nice and cool. Seems like a nice attendance here tonight in Peoria, and many made the drive from the Valley area after work, and this should be a fun one here with the berm pretty occupied over beyond the outfield wall.
Yeah, looks like we're going to have a pretty good crowd for baseball under the lights here tonight as the Angels on this Saturday evening play their first night game. 4 of them all together this spring for the Angels under the lights. So the umpires, Doug Eddings, will be calling balls and strikes, and it will be Corey Blazer along with Pat Hoberg and Nick Lentz on the bases tonight. The dimensions here: 340 down the lines, 410 to dead center, and in the alleys in left center and right center it goes right around 385 feet. So we're just about ready to get things going. First batter up for the Angels will be Luis Valbuena. And Valbuena, a left-handed batter, playing third base, will lead it off against Rob Whalen, who spent some time a year ago with the Mariners, just a brief amount of time, only 7 1/3 innings, a couple of games, 1 start against them. So we're ready to go here from Peoria, the Peoria Sports Complex, Peoria Stadium. And the pitch, and there's a high fly ball lifted into right center field. Let's see who's going to take charge, and out there is the right fielder Perkins to put that one away. D. Gordon right beside him. So that's the game's first out. Valbuena is retired, and Martín Maldonado will be the next batter.
About that, D. Gordon's like, thank you very much for helping me out there, my friend, because he did not see it at all. So yes, clarification, Hermosillo is in right, Liriano is in left. The Angels switching around their outfield on previous things that we had seen in the past.
Our game time temperature tonight, 70 degrees, and the first pitch back home at 5:40 Pacific time. Here's the pitch. It's taken for a called strike by Martín Maldonado. This top of the first inning being brought to you tonight by our friends at Rotolo Chevrolet and here's the next pitch, and that is a breaking ball that misses. Rob Whalen, who's starting. Interesting story for Seattle. He's been in a few organizations already in his pro career. He's only 23 years old, and he actually took a leave of absence during last season. Here's the next pitch, and that one is lifted high, and it's hit deep out there into left field, out by the wall, and that one is out of here. That is a home run for Maldonado. Angels 2 batters in, up 1-0.
Hey, Martin wasting no time to tell everybody I can see the ball well here under the lights and surprise a lot of people with his power last year as a full-time catcher for the Yankees. Did a fine job just hammering that baseball there right on top of him. 14 homers for Maldonado last season.
So Maldonado connects. That's his first one this spring. And the next batter hitting out of the 3-hole tonight is young player David Fletcher, and the pitch, and that is right in there. A breaking ball for a called strike.
And no doubt Maldi shot into the dark.
Here's the 0-1 delivery on Fletcher, and that's a breaking ball that he fouls off over on the left side. David Fletcher is having a nice spring, getting a lot of playing time with the Angels. Already 13 at bats with 8 hits. That's a .615 batting average. 1-0 Angels just underway. Top of the first in Peoria. And Whalen's next delivery. That's a breaking ball. It's bounced right by him and through into center field. Another hit for Fletcher. So he has a 1-out single. Last 2 have had hits for the Angels. And Rene Rivera, who's the Angels cleanup batter, will be the next hitter.
That makes Fletcher now 9 for 14 so far here in the Cactus League. Hitting the ball everywhere, doing a fine job after fouling off a high breaking ball. He stays right with this one and glides the bat flatly through that zone.
Whalen is starting his first game this spring for Seattle. He did pitch in relief and had a couple of scoreless innings coming into this one. Next delivery, and that is lined just foul on the third base side, and it sounded like Rivera cracked his bat on that one. And the broken bat brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. Look for Wonderful Pistachios at the Big A and your local grocery store or pharmacy. Now let's get cracking.
Nice. Rivera didn't like it, but at least he didn't make an out.
What was that? What was that? An instant replay of the cracked bat right there?
Guess so. That was quick. That was a quick production.
There you go.
Turnover there by Jorge.
So 0-1 is the count here on Rivera. Fletcher leading off first base. Whalen is usually a pretty slow worker. He slowed it down now with that runner at first base, and he will throw over there, and Fletcher dives back to the bag. I mentioned Whalen last season took a leave of absence, and he did it dealing with depression. He was a guy who really struggled last season, did not win a game in the majors or minors, and he just had to back off a little bit.
It's the right thing. The Mariners understood exactly what was going on, what was happening, and they knew exactly how to handle it with great care and understanding that he needed time, Terry, no doubt. And it all started back in spring training when he ended up starting the season under the Sable list, and it just snowballed from there.
He had some leg and knee and also right shoulder issues last season as well. And altogether last season he pitched just shy of 61 innings between the time he was in AAA and the limited action, the 2 games in the big leagues with Seattle.
And somebody, of course, like him has gone through it. Great to see him competing again.
Yeah, there's a pitch that's chased and missed, and Rivera's a strikeout victim, so that's out number 2. Jeffrey Marte will be the next batter. Marte has been in the lineup quite a bit for the Angels this spring, and as he gets ready to dig in here, we'll see what he can do against Whalen. Marte this spring is hitting .667. He's 8 for 12. Driven in 3 runs.
Jeffrey just has not been in a hurry. His swing has been quite consistent in the zone. He has found himself in deep counts.
Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball in there for a strike. Whalen will throw a sinking fastball. He'll throw a slider, curve, and change up. Angels were just here at this ballpark on Monday afternoon, and Tyler Skaggs pitched in that game, and he'll be pitching here tonight for the Angels, but against a different team. He faced the Padres, who share this facility with Seattle, in that game on Monday. Whalen again bluffing a toss over to first. Fletcher just moves back to the bag. So Marte patiently in the batter's box awaiting the 0-1 delivery. Seattle right-hander is set, and here's the pitch. That's in there. Looked like it caught the inside part of the plate for a strike. Angels coming into this ball game, the Cactus League record is 4-4. Seattle, they have played 9 games this spring. They're 3-5-1. Angels coming off the loss against the Cubs yesterday. And the Angels will be back at Tempe Diablo Stadium tomorrow afternoon to take on the Rockies. Here's the pitch. That's ripped down the left side, and fair or foul. It's just foul. That had extra bases written all over it, and it might have scored Fletcher all the way from first base with 2 outs, but it was just a little bit foul.
Jeffrey Marte in that shortened swing. Aaron Sinksky has been on him about the 2 swings he's had. BP one and a game one. Game one with a longer follow through, bigger loop. And little by little, since the first week of BP until now, we see Marte has done a fine job just toning things down and making that loop just a little bit smaller during the game.
Yeah, Marte has really looked good at the plate here, first week of games in the Cactus League. So he's deep in the hole, the 0-2. There goes Fletcher, breaking ball, and that one is lined right at Kyle Seager, the third baseman. He crouched down like a catcher to make the grab on that low line drive. The inning is over, but the Angels get a first inning run on the homer by Maldonado. That was one of 2 Angel hits, 1 runner left on base. Half inning completed tonight here in Peoria. Angels have a 1-0 lead on Seattle on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. For Seattle here in 2018. We'll get ready to lead things off for them. He came over from the Miami Marlins. Of course, the Marlins got rid of a lot of players this offseason, a lot of veteran players. Gordon, 60 stolen bases last year in what turned out to be his final year with Miami. Tyler Skaggs ready to face him. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch. It's a first pitch fastball right in there for a called strike.
D. Gordon has turned out to be a terrific speedster. Hitter, defender, now making the switch to center field, and so far they say so good.
Next pitch, and he chases that one and misses it. So he's in the hole. The count 0-2. Angels have on the red tops, the gray pants. Seattle with the teal color jerseys, and they have the white pants. And here's the next one. And this is chopped softly on the right side. It's going to be a tough play for Coward. His throw is going to be late. D. Gordon can fly. He had 60 stolen bases last year, and he has an infield single. And now Skaggs is going to have to pay attention to him because he will be on the move if he doesn't pay close attention to him.
Oh, yes. 2 years of 60 or more stolen bases. What's wrong with just putting the ball in play if that's your game and let it fly down that line? He actually did a little neon Dion there at the very end, Terry. You see that? At the first base, little Deion Sanders.
Let's go, Gene.
Well, he beat the throw and he beat it with his legs. He was on the move and he can really run. Here's Segura getting ready to step up, and the pitch that's in there for a called strike.
Tell you what, people around here have not seen anything like that. Here's spring training. D. Gordon has not played a regular season game here for the Mariners, but bit of an Ichiro type hit right there, huh?
Yeah.
Where infielders were just scrambling to get to the ball before you know it, there's no chance.
Here's the pitch on Gene Segura, and he bounces this one softly on the third base side, but that was a foul ball. It hit off of Segura's foot, it looked like.
D. Gordon has had stolen base seasons of 24, 32, 64, 58, 30, and 60. He's got 278 career stolen bases, 81 caught stealing.
So no balls, 2 strikes on him, on Segura, and here's the pitch. That's a fastball, misses high. Gene Segura, a year ago, hit exactly 300. He had 11 homers. He drove in 45 runs. Stole 22 bases. So with Gordon and Segura in the top of that batting order, they got some guys that can make things happen with their speed.
Oh, that could be a headache. And Segura's going to be putting the ball in play for you. Just a season removed from having had 200 hits. The D-backs well rewarded with a new 5-year deal in the middle of last season.
Here's the pitch, and that one misses for a ball. So it's 2-2. What was it we heard when Gene Segura was an Angel farmhand that one of his legs was slightly longer than the other?
Yes, it was.
And the fact that he had to wear an orthotic in his shoe to kind of balance that out.
Well, thankfully for him, for his family, it has not hurt him at all as a big leaguer.
Nope. Here's the next pitch, and that one is low and inside.
So far this spring, 3 for 9 for Gene Segura.
So the count's full. We'll see what happens on the 3-2 delivery. Waiting on deck is Robinson Cano. Skaggs delivers, and he jammed him on that one. He fouls it off on the right side, the first base side. So it's still 3-2.
It becomes a challenge immediately for Tyler Skaggs as word gets around with ball clubs on how deliberate he is towards the plate and the problems he's had in the past in avoiding the stolen base.
So Skaggs ready to come in with another payout. Before he does, he's paying some attention to Gordon there, and he gets back. He almost stepped off the bag, and Marte over there playing first base tonight reapplied the tag, but he had just gotten his foot back on that first base bag. Tyler ready, and the next pitch, and boy, that one didn't miss by much. That kind of reminds you a little bit of Monday here, and you could see immediately Skaggs wasn't happy. You could just read his body language, and he's walked off the mound right now.
Doug Eddings not giving him that corner. Last minute might have cut in. Even Maldonado, the catcher, saying a couple things there. In conversation with Doug Eddings, who was behind the plate. But let's hope that this does not snowball as it did here against the Padres for Skaggs.
A couple of the umpires that are here tonight were actually umpiring the game that Skaggs pitched Monday here at this ballpark, but Eddings was not one of them. Here's the next pitch. This is chopped out near second, flip to second one, relay to first, and that is a nicely turned double play right there.
Oh, we're talking about the two Skaggs. The one that Terry, as we mentioned in our TV Open, go out there and look at your defense. Take a deep breath and let those guys go to work for you, especially as you're counting on a Kinsler, a Simmons, but nonetheless, start working on that now by being able to use a fastball in good spots, sink it in, run it down as he did there, tying up Robinson Cano, and a nice turn by both up the middle.
So here is Nelson Cruz, their DH. He bats with a runner at third, 2 outs. See if Skaggs can get out of the inning here, keeping that runner from scoring. Dangerous hitter at the plate in Cruz, and the pitch, and first one is right in there for a called strike.
Still one of those names that really, Terry, flies under the radar, but you want to talk about consistency and power.
This guy has hit 166 home runs over the last 4 seasons. He had 39 last year, and the pitch, and that one is high. You look back last 8 seasons, more than 20 homers in every one of those 8 seasons. And primarily a DH for Seattle. Missed only 7 games a year ago. Drove in 119 runs. Here's the pitch. Cruz takes low. That one skipped away from Maldonado, just a couple feet away from him. 2-1 on Cruz.
Nelson Cruz at one point taken off the 40-man roster by the Texas Rangers. And he's bounced around. Many organizations, even bounced around a lot before he got to the big leagues and established himself for the Rangers.
There's the 2-1 on Cruz. Hits it hard, but foul on the third base side, few feet foul.
There's been a ton of balls hit hard that way. So third base coaches on alert today. Scott Brocious, new third base coach for the Seattle Mariners. He replaces Manny Acta. Manny Acta moves over to the bench.
So it's a 2-2 count, next delivery, and he got him looking, struck him out. That call goes Skaggs' way, and that'll do it here for the Mariners. They threaten but fail to score. They leave the runner over there at third base. So we are headed to the second inning under the lights tonight here in Peoria. Angels up on Seattle 1-0 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. to the second inning here in Peoria. Mentioned the Angels will be taking on the Rockies tomorrow afternoon at Tempe Diablo. And that will be a TV game only. No radio broadcast for that one tomorrow. Will be exclusively on Fox Sports West for the telecast tomorrow afternoon. Here's the next delivery, and that's in there. I wonder, does that mean that our radio producer engineer Jorge Sevilla will not be at that game tomorrow?
Oh no, he's coming.
He's coming.
He's coming. Going to join us.
All right.
Emotional support.
He has a day off tomorrow.
We need him here.
All right. Here's the 1-1, and that one is fouled back behind the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Let's pause for stations to identify themselves right here on the Angels Baseball Radio Network. Terry Smith and Jose Mota with you tonight, and trying to check on that breaking ball there is Hermosillo, and on that 1-2 pitch he went after it, struck him out. This copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of Angels Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of tonight's game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball. Here's Caleb Coward getting ready to bat for the first time tonight. Switch hitter batting from the left side. Coward's 4 for 17 so far this spring with a run batted in. And first when he looks at that pitch, it's right in there for a strike. Those 17 at bats for Coward this spring, the most for any Angel hitter so far this spring.
Getting a chance, playing some seconds, playing some third. Defensively, no problem. He's been outstanding as always.
They have the 3-man right side infield shift on. 1-1 to count on Coward. He was a 300 hitter last year, AAA Salt Lake. Hit just 225 though in his limited action, 50 games with the Angels, and he bounces this one fair on the right side. It was bobbled by Cano, but he recovers and flips the ball to the pitcher, Whalen, covering first, and that'll be your old 4-1 ground out number 2.
That's why that time is spent on the backfields, just to get that coordination done, timing done. No panic whatsoever from Robinson Cano. And also a big player here is your first baseman, who has to listen to your voice saying, I got it. Get out of the way. Just keep going. There'll be times when the more you play next to an infielder, the more you'll know about its range, and times when in the regular season that exact play will be in the hands of the first baseman to begin with.
So here's Eric Young Jr. with 2 outs. He's the 8-hole hitter, and he takes a breaking ball high. We were mentioning we were here on Monday when the Angels faced the Padres at this ballpark, and of course that was a day game. This stadium just seems so much different at night, doesn't it?
It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
The berm is packed.
Yeah.
Beyond the wall.
There's one that's chased and missed.
People enjoying the wonderful temperatures here tonight. They've redesigned this ballpark through the years. We've seen the transformation. It's a pretty cozy place.
Yeah,
busy every day, pretty much.
Yep. Big pavilion area located behind the left field bullpen area. There's a bunt try fouled off by Eric Young Jr. So 1-2 the count. Young playing center field. Eric Young in a Cactus League play for the Angels. He's just 2 for 13, yet to drive in a run. Whalen is set, and the 1-2, and a breaking ball. He's had a pretty good one tonight. That's chased and missed, struck him out. So that's his 3rd strikeout, and the Angels have a quiet inning here in the top of the 2nd. So we get ready to move to the bottom of the 2nd. Angels have a 1-0 lead in Peoria on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. come into the ball game, so he is at first base. Jeffrey Marte was playing that position. We haven't heard why Marte has left, but you would have certainly figured if he was okay physically, get more than one at bat tonight. So we'll try and find out what's going on with Marte, who's no longer in the ball game.
Heck, even established players would not leave today without an injury after one at bat. So Marte, hope to get an update from him here as the game progresses as to what's going on. He's been a hot hitter for the Angels.
Yep, he lined out to Seager his first time out. Was a low liner hit right at the third baseman. So we'll try and find out what happened there. Seager at the plate, and he just fouled off the first pitch, and the count's 0-2. Skaggs looking in for the sign. He's ready. Here it comes. And that one missed high for a ball at fastball 92 miles per hour.
Kyle Seager, a key clog in this organization. The core group of Cano, with Cruz, now Segura, young Haniger, D. Gordon.
Here's the next delivery. It's a shallow fly ball hit into center field, and there to make the grab is Eric Young Jr. Mike Zunino will be the next batter.
Seager full on the pitch by Tyler Skaggs. Good job changing pace. So against the lefty Cano, double play against the lefty Seager, able to get him out in front.
Here's Zunino. And the first pitch on him, he lines it just out of the reach of Valbuena and diving to his left towards the shortstop hole, but couldn't quite come up with that one. And that'll be the second hit of the ball game here for Seattle.
Mike Zunino really turned a corner last year offensively. He was absolutely a monster with a bat as a catcher for the Mariners. 25 home runs, and what you saw on that swing is exactly what he was able to repeat and take from one at bat to the next. Pitch selection and understanding, as Edgar Martinez has told him time and time again as a hitting coach, know where that barrel is.
Here's Ford at the plate, and that one is in there for a called strike. Mike Ford was in the Yankees organization, and now he's here with the Seattle Mariners trying to win a spot on their opening day roster. He was a Rule 5 draftee in December, so they have to make a decision on him, and he's a guy who has power. Pretty good discipline at the plate last year between AA and AAA. 20 homers, drove in 86 and hit 270.
He's got a window of opportunity as a Rule 5 pick to make his case between the white lines and make that decision as tough as ever at the end.
Here's the pitch, and that one is a ball. They thought that Ryan Healy was going to play first base for them, but he had surgery last month on his right hand to remove a bone spur, so he is not in uniform right now here in spring training.
And really big time power has developed to a fine power hitter in the big leagues with the Oakland A's.
Next one on Ford, he takes, and that's in there for a strike, a fastball. 2-2 is the count. You're just joining us. We're in the bottom of the second. The Angels got a run in the top of the first, lead at 1-0. The run coming on a Martin Maldonado homer. Here's the 2-2, and that's fouled off on the left side. That gets back and out of play.
A lot of turnover players wise for the Mariners. Very active front office. Baseball operations led by their general manager, Jerry Dipoto. Many trades. As you recall, the first baseman at the end of the season last year for the Mariners was one Yonder Alonso, who is now in a one-year contract with the Cleveland Indians. Alonso himself became an all-star after changing his approach and lifting the baseball.
There's a pitch that misses a little bit low, so the count runs full. It's now 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Danny Valencia was also part of the equation last year. He's a platoon player.
So full count. Skaggs ready on the next one, and that's fouled off on the left side. They had Steve Cishek here for a while last year. He's no longer with them. Gerard Dyson no longer with Seattle. Giovanni Gallardo, Emilio Pagan, pretty good young reliever. Juan Nicasio was the big pitching acquisition for them this offseason, and there's a pitch that trying to hold up on, and chasing is the batter Ford. Struck him out. Good pitch. Second strikeout for Skaggs.
It's good to see Skaggs just go out there and throw the ball with confidence, conviction, just being able to follow that glove and follow that lead of Martín Maldonado. And nice pop on that fastball, along with his breaking ball, which is still trying to get a feel for it this early in the game, but it's been rolling out of those fingers pretty nicely.
So the batter now is Cameron Perkins, who was with the Phillies last season for a bit, and the grounds one right to the shortstop. Fletcher juggles, recovers, throws to second, and it's in time to force out Zunino, and the inning is over on the 6-4 fielder's choice. So a good inning for Skaggs. Couple of scoreless innings for him so far. They had a hit in the inning, and they end up leaving one runner on base. The third is next under the lights in Peoria. The Angels up on Seattle 1-0 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Liriano, he's playing left field tonight. 9-hole hitter, batting for the first time. Whalen in for his third inning, and he starts him off with a breaking ball for a called strike.
Well, here's a time when Liriano and Hermosillo switching corner outfield positions, and I think it comes down to Mike Swisher wanted to get a longer look at Liriano as an option, and Hermosillo to see how he handles the other side of the outfield.
Here's the next one that's fouled off. Seen Hermosillo play all three of the outfield spots so far this spring.
He's been a busy man.
Nothing in two is the count on Reimer Liriano. Angels signing him in the offseason, minor league free agent. He's had 4 hits, 15 at bats so far this spring for the Angels. He's driven in a run.
Strong man, really has shown us the ability to get on top of the ball and hit some líneas everywhere.
Plays the bat on his right shoulder, right-handed hitter. 2-strike delivery. That's grounded just out of the reach of the shortstop. Segura, he went diving to his left towards second, and that ball just passed him for a leadoff hit.
That's another one for Liriano going now through the box.
Want to remind Angel fans you can join the Angels Monday, April the 2nd and Tuesday, April the 3rd when the Halos take on the Cleveland Indians at the Big A. Game time 7:07. Fans will receive a wall calendar courtesy of U.S. Bank while supplies last. Visit angels.com/promotions for details.
I was checking down in front of us, see if I saw Martin Maldonado's dad, because it was here where he took offense to how the scoreboard had
That's
put
right.
the number Maldonada, and he took a picture of that.
Yeah, that was Monday afternoon here against the Padres.
So after the rest of the game, I go, did I see this right? You actually took a picture of the screen in left field because it said Maldonado. He goes, yes, and I'm going to show it to Martin.
Maldonado waiting on deck. Valbuena with the count. 1 ball, no strikes. The Angels batting here in the 3rd, up 1-0.
His dad was actually here and showing off his new granddaughter, Martin Jr., new pop. Waiting on deck, heavily involved also in helping those in Puerto Rico.
2 balls and no strikes. Right side infield shift on. 3 infielders there. Next pitch, a little bit high, it misses.
So Terry, if you look at the Angels bench and how it could be designed, of course with Ohtani being a pitcher and projected as a position player too. You already have Valbuena signed on a guaranteed deal. You have guys fighting for spots. Well, you know you have one backup catcher. There's not a whole lot of room in that bench.
Right. Here's the pitch. That's chopped to the first baseman. Ford goes to second for 1. Relay to first. That's an easy double play. But Ford made the right decision there, getting the lead runner first, and they still had plenty of time to get Valbuena running to first. So here is Maldonado.
Again.
And his homer, the difference so far in this one here in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, Seattle Mariners pitching has allowed a lot of home runs here early in the spring. 14 home runs they have allowed here in the spring. That's the most among American League teams overall in preseason.
Here's the pitch, and that's a breaking ball called strike.
Whalen not afraid to use that breaking ball early in counts, get ahead, repeat it. Ability to pitch backwards. Fastball gives a little more life when he shows it after some spinners.
0-1 to count on the Angels catcher, and there's another breaking ball. He misses that one as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Changing speeds off of his breaking ball, something he's done very well in the minor leagues. He has a career minor league ERA of 2.99, 2.22 average against in 72 starts in the minors.
0-2, and that was a fastball inside. It's up and in.
There's a fastball at 90 miles an hour that really looked like 95.
David Fletcher would be up next for the Angels. Here's the 1-2, and that's low. It misses outside. Tried to get him with a slider there. The game tomorrow when the Angels are back in Tempe against Colorado. It's going to be Matt Shoemaker against John Gray. Gray has already faced the Angels once this spring.
He's got good stuff. He has great stuff.
Angels on Monday will be playing the Reds in Goodyear. Here's the pitch. That's chopped foul back behind the plate at game Monday afternoon. That will be Andrew Heaney on the mound for the Angels. Sal Romano will pitch for Cincinnati.
It's good to report, Terry. Some guys making their second go around with the rotation. Everybody so far has thrown the ball well. Results have varied, obviously, because of many issues, but no setbacks on anyone.
There's a little chopper that's hit foul over on the left side.
Including good to see Nick Tropiano rebound after his first start.
Yeah.
Butterflies, a little jittery, not able to locate, of course, coming off that surgery. And came in relief. His second time out. And was very effective.
A game tomorrow, Angels and the Rockies at Tempe Diablo. Matt Shoemaker faced John Gray in that time they last met, which was Tuesday of this week. So they're going to square up for the second time this spring. And here's the pitch that Maldonado tries to hold up on, went around, struck him out, and the inning is over. So the Angels had the leadoff hit by Liriano, but that was it. And we are moving to the bottom of the third inning with the Angels up 1-0 here on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Second batter in the inning. Segura hits third, and getting ready to lead off is John Andrioli. First time we see him step up tonight. Their 9-hole hitter. Was in the Cubs organization a year ago. Played in AAA, a right-handed batter, and the first pitch, that one misses for a ball. That's the first time Skaggs has missed on a first pitch against a Seattle batter tonight. He was 8 for 8 coming into this inning with first pitch strikes.
Terry, and no one can blame you for saying it before the pitch. So we have nothing to do with what happens down there.
The old broadcaster's jinx you're alluding to. Here's the next one, and that's fouled back to our right, backing out of play.
John Andrioli, well-seasoned minor leaguer. I recall talking to you about this player back a year ago when he was part of the Team Italy that I saw playing the World Baseball Classic. Former Cub farmhand.
27 years old. Takes that one for ball two. It's 2-1.
Sal Fasano, former member of the Angels minor league staff, really liked this player. I mean, he's has a lot to offer. Just couldn't put it all together with the Cubs, and hopefully a new start here with the Mariners will allow him the opportunity to put those skills on display.
There's one that he was trying to hold up on, went around. Andrioli began his pro career 2011, has yet to appear in a major league game. And the delivery, it's fouled right back behind home plate.
Saw him face some premier big league pitchers. Of course, we're talking about March, but unafraid. Show some power the other way. He was in that pool where you face Puerto Rican big leaguers, Mexican big leaguers. Venezuelan big leaguers, and he was pretty solid for Team Italy. Where Brandon Nimmo was also part of that team. Mets young outfielder.
So it's a full count on Andrioli. And the next delivery, and that one missed a little bit inside. That'll be the second walk of the night issued by Skaggs, a leadoff walk, and D. Gordon, who got an infield hit his first at bat, will be the next batter.
Well, we talked about Skaggs, and relates a bit to also Garrett Richards and guys that you want to see on the mound, see what they can do in a full season. And guys that have been around it long enough, they have gone through a lot in adversity and injuries, that they just look forward to seeing all these skills put together and become guys that can contribute for a full season.
Here's Skaggs' pitch on Gordon, and he lifts it in the air in the left field. Backpedaling is Liriano. Not too deep. He'll make the catch on that one, and no advancement by Andrioli over there at first base. So Gordon is retired, easy out. Segura will be the next batter for the Angels. Well, the Angels, the last few seasons, have just had a rash of injuries to their starting pitchers. And the Angels had a pretty good stretch for a number of years where they were pretty much injury free from a pitching standpoint. And then all of a sudden, boy, they were going down regularly, unfortunately, over the last few years.
The perfect storm just came.
Yep. It's fouled off on the right side.
Skaggs has never made more than 18 starts in a season. 26 combined starts the last 2 years. And we know there's a lot of ability there stuff-wise. A lot of times he'll be the first one to admit just he gets in his own way, but works extremely hard and has great advice, especially from the parent side, onto the belief and conviction and just trust that he needs to have out there on the mound.
There's a pitch chased and missed by Segura, and it's now no balls and 2 strikes. Well, you just look at last season. Skaggs won 2 games for the Angels. Richards didn't win any. Heaney won 1 game. And these are guys that the Angels really need to elevate their game this season.
As I said, happy to report that everybody so far has gone through this part of camp healthy.
That pitch is low and in, so it's 1-2 on Gene Segura.
Skaggs, when at his best, yes, he spins the breaking ball very well. He allows way more fly balls than ground balls, but also on his game, he has the ability to really shorten innings and be very economical. Comes down to pitches per inning.
Here's the 1-2, and checking on that one is Segura. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It was a game I recall for Skaggs like in 2014 when he made 18 starts for the Angels. Game against the Astros, where he actually, in the post-game interview, he told me, well, the reason I started getting more ground balls or early outs, I started throwing a 2-seamer. I'm like, well, how long have you been working that 2-seamer? He goes, I just started throwing it today. Over at Minute Maid Park.
Here's the next delivery, and that one there, Segura checking on it. The ball got away from Maldonado, and moving up to second base on that one will be Andrioli, and now it's a full count. It's going to be a wild pitch.
As the eyes get adjusted, the spin, not easy to see sometimes, even as a catcher. As hitters are having a hard time just think about ball coming in and reading, catchers too. And Maldonado just did not do the best job in getting his body and glove in a good position there.
So Skaggs had Segura down 0-2. Now it's 3-2, and the payoff, he lifts it high and he hits it well into left center field. Liriano is back, and that one is gone. Well, Skaggs just couldn't polish off Segura. He's a good hitter, and he had him down, no balls and 2 strikes. He worked the count full, and on a 3-2 pitch, he just hit a 2-run homer. So it's 2-1 Seattle.
One thing you can see too is As you're adjusting your eyes, the more pitches you see, the better. And Segura saw a lot of pitches in the first at bat when he walked. Fouled off some good pitches here in this one. And timing-wise, he had it all down. And mainly, he was keeping his head steady and down in one area to find the white and strike it hard.
There's Cano at the plate. He looks at the first pitch. That one misses. Cano hit into a double play his first time up. Robinson Cano, 35 years old. Next delivery, chops it softly right at second. Cowart has it, and he will throw out the Mariners second baseman. So that's out number 2. Nelson Cruz, the next batter. He was a strikeout victim his first at bat.
Robinson Cano recently asked how long does he have in mind to play second base. He says, I signed a 10-year contract to play second base.
And he's just midway through it right now.
There's no, don't start talking about de-aging here and there, because still considers himself a premier defender at second base.
Here's the first one on Cruz, and he takes. Skaggs has not had the same success with the first pitch strikes here in this inning. He did it against all the hitters he faced in the first 2 innings, but not here in the third, and he's paid for it to some degree. There's one in there for a called strike. 1-1.
Some pitches still giving Maldonado a little bit of trouble. Somebody on the bench perhaps asking him what pitch was that. Looked like a changeup from up here.
1-1. And the fastball was a little bit high. Two-one Seattle as they bat with 2 outs. Couple runs in here in the bottom of the third, and the 2-1 delivery. That's a pitch chased and missed, blown away.
It's a good job there. Great follow through after popping the glove in the outer half, missing with a ball. He was able to come back, take something off of it, and get Cruz out front.
Infield is back. Outfield shading Cruz a little bit the opposite way, and the pitch misses high. So it's another full count here in the inning. This will probably be the final inning for Skaggs.
Second time around, and it's mapped out by Mike Scioscia and Charles Nagy, the pitching coach. Should be around a 45 to 50 pitch count.
Here's the next delivery, and that one is chased and missed, and he got him on that fastball, struck him out. The inning is over. Skaggs with a strikeout in all 3 innings. Did give up a couple runs on the 1 hit, the 2-run homer by Segura. Also a walk in the inning, and nobody left. We are a third of the way through here tonight in Peoria. 4th inning is next. It's 2-1 in favor of the Mariners on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. and they will take out their starting pitcher Rob Whalen and bring in one of the pitchers they picked up in the offseason, Juan Nicasio. He was a free agent in the offseason. They signed him to a 2-year deal. He was a guy who led the National League last year in games pitched, 76 appearances. He was with 3 different teams last year
and kept taking the baseball.
Yeah,
he's always had the arm.
Always had a good fastball and a good changeup. He'll throw a slider and a curveball, and he faces Fletcher, and David Fletcher takes the first pitch there for a called strike. Whalen, their starter, 3 innings, 3 hits allowed, a run it was earned, no walks. He struck out 4, and he allowed a home run. Here's Nicasio's next delivery, and that's in there, and now it's 0-2 on David Fletcher. Last season, Nicasio 5-5 record, the 76 relief appearances, 2.61 ERA. Opponents hit only .217 against them. And here's a little bouncer on the right side that's scooped up by Cano, and he gets it over there to Ford to retire Fletcher.
That's why Robbie wants to play second base. Little dance move there for Cano at the end. Understand some viewers in South Florida. I'd like to say hello to them. Identified as Jeff. Checking in from all over the country. Thank you very much.
So here is Rivera batting, and that one is a little bit low on the Angels DH tonight. Rene Rivera, strikeout victim, his first time up. Here's the next pitch, and that one is chased by Rivera. Juan Nicasio was a pitcher who had a scary moment earlier in his career. He was hit by a line drive, hit on the head by a line drive, and he suffered a broken neck.
And the effect was after he was hit by the line drive and when he fell.
Here's one that's hit deep in the hole. It's short. The stop is made by Segura, and the throw will nip Rivera. That was a long throw, and he had to get a lot on it. And Rivera is nipped at first base. 2 outs here in the 4th inning, and Matt Thaiss will get set for his first at bat.
It's one of those plays you see Gene Segura expressing with some gestures going, whoa, I kind of lost that ball there with my third baseman cutting across, but it was the right person hitting that ball for him to get the out. Otherwise, it's an infield single.
Here's the pitch. That one skips away from the catcher Mike Zunino. It's ball 1.
Hoping to have a report on Jeffrey Martin, why he left the ball game after 1 at bat.
We'll check things out shortly on the out-of-town scoreboard. In this game, 2-1 Seattle. We're in the 4th inning, and the next pitch, and that's hit well into center field. Gordon is going back. He is looking up, and that ball in dead center is out of here. A home run. Matt Thaiss connects, and that one right there ties it up at 2.
Matt Thaiss has really done a fine job just the last 3 days adjusting that swing. From a long loopy one where there was a big hole in it, one where pitchers were exploiting him with some fastballs. They saw him strike out 6 times in his first 11 at bats, to one where last couple of days he's hit the ball a long ways.
So Thaiss with his 2nd homer this spring. And the batter now is Hermosillo. He chops it right to the third baseman Seager, and he'll throw him out. And the Angels are retired on 3 groundouts in the inning, but sandwiched in between the 2-out homer by Thaiss. We're moving to the bottom of the 4th. 2-2 Angels in Seattle on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Skaggs' night is over. And Skaggs tonight, 3 innings of work. He allowed a hit in every inning, 3 hits allowed, 2 runs. They were both earned. He gave up a home run. Walk department issued 2. Strikeout department had 3. And those are the numbers for the Angels starter. He also had a wild pitch. So Cam Bedrosian is pitcher number 2 of the night, and this will be his 2nd appearance this spring. He's had a scoreless inning so far. Mention the out-of-town scoreboard. It's brought to you here on this Saturday evening and powered by the new 2019 Jeep Cherokee. Embrace every new opportunity with a newly redesigned exterior and 31 highway MPG. Test drive the new 2019 Jeep Cherokee today.
That's quick. 2019 already.
Here's the pitch, and that is high and away.
Only Terry Smith gets those kinds of treats. Well done, T.
So the count, 1 ball, no strikes here on Seager. Bedrosian ready, and the pitch, and that's in there. Round the Cactus League earlier today, a Giants split squad beat Cleveland 13-4. San Diego beat Oakland 10-4. White Sox over Kansas City 9-5. The other Giants split squad, a winner against Texas today 9-4. Dodgers all over the D-backs 14-6. Cubs beat Cincinnati 7-4. Milwaukee over Colorado 6-5. And we'll zero in on the Florida Grapefruit League after the next pitch. The count's 2-1 as Bedrosian faces his first batter here tonight in a 2-2 ball game. Here's the pitch. That's a liner caught by the third baseman Valbuena. He was playing across from the bag and off the line. That ball came right at him. Didn't have much time to react, and makes the catch on that hard hit liner for the first out.
You're talking about that game between the Mariners, between the Rangers and the San Francisco Giants. Derek Holland, the former Texas Ranger starter, got the win against his former ball club in relief. Johnny Cueto started that game for San Francisco, and Cole Hamels got hit pretty well, started that game for Texas.
Mentioning Hamels, with the Rangers saying that they are going to go to a 6-man rotation, he was very vocal that he is not happy about that.
It's good. He should express it and say it.
Yeah, we'll see how that whole situation evolves with the Rangers this year.
Different reactions. Guys are used to routine, 4 days in between. What's worked for them in the past. There's nothing wrong with just having a different opinion. At the end, the organization is going to do what's best for the organization. The Angels are tinkering with going with a 6-man rotation. In a perfect world, they will go with a 6-man rotation. But Mike Socha's also clearly said, hey, we got to be flexible too and see what happens here, the way it turns out.
Mike Zunino on an 0-2 pitch was taking the 3rd one in that at bat, and he looked at a pitch right down the middle, a fastball for a called strike. So he is out looking. And now the batter will be the left-handed hitting Mike Ford. In the Florida Grapefruit League today, the Yankees beat Boston 5-3. Finishing the Yankees, how about their game yesterday? Russell Wilson, the quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks. We're playing the Seattle Mariners. Russell Wilson had an at-bat for the Yankees yesterday.
No stranger to camp. Former invitee to Texas Rangers camps, but also he played minor league ball for the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, Rockies organization. Yeah. Here's the pitch, and that's right in there for a called strike.
Tim Tebow, seems like there's a Tim Tebow news report every single day too, coming out of Mets camp.
Yeah. So today, Yankees over Boston 5-3. Tampa Bay beat Detroit 7-4. Atlanta over St. Louis 9-2. Washington beat the Astros 8-1. Philly split squad lost to Baltimore 4-2 as the pitch was taken for ball 2. The other Philly split squad lost the game to Pittsburgh 4-3. Mets were shut out by Miami 1-0, and Toronto put 13 on the board and beat Minnesota today 13-8.
Have some viewers checking in also from Fort Myers, Florida. Terry, as you talk about the Phillies, what an interesting camp that has become with one Gabe Kapler.
Yeah. They're doing some unusual things in their camp in Clearwater.
Bench pressing competition led by the manager, things like that.
Yeah.
You say he's keeping it fun, keeping it loose. Wants guys to have fun, get their work in.
Here's a 2-strike delivery. It's chased and missed by Ford. So Bedrosian has a quick, clean inning with a pair of strikeouts. And that'll do it here for Seattle as they go down quietly in the 4th. The 5th is next. It's 2-2 in Peoria. Angels and Mariners on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. David Phelps is his name, and he replaces Juan Nicasio, who worked last inning against the Angels in the top of the 4th. Nicasio gave up a hit, a run. The run came in on the homer by Theis. No walks, no strikeouts. So Phelps, who came over to Seattle back in July of last season, and then the following month went on the disabled list with a right elbow problem.
Yeah, that was a huge blow to them because this guy is a key piece of the pitching staff.
He was 4-5 last year, 54 relief appearances. ERA was solid, 3.40. Here's the first delivery, and that one misses for a ball. He'll throw a fastball, top out around 96. Has a sinker, curve, and a cut fastball he'll use.
One inning, 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned, 1 home run.
Right side infield shift on with Cowart leading the inning off. Phelps working exclusively from the stretch. We begin the 5th, tied at 2. That's low and in. 2-0 is the count.
Phelps from St. Louis, Missouri, but he went to Notre Dame. There's a connection between Mike Scioscia, David Phelps, and Mike Scioscia's son because of Notre Dame.
There's the pitch on its way, and that one is in there for a called strike. Yep, Mike Scioscia's son Matt played his college baseball at Notre Dame, and then coming out of college was drafted by the Angels. No longer in pro ball though.
Mike Scioscia got an early report from Mr. Phelps from his son.
Here's one lifted in the air down the left field side. Long run down near that left field corner, and making the catch is Andrioli. Caught it right near the foul line. So that is out number 1. Cowart is set down. Eric Young Jr. will be the next batter. And fans, don't forget to get your red on. Experience Angels baseball with your group of 20 or more and get tickets for as low as $8 per seat. Call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/groups for details.
Phelps, plenty of experience also as a starting pitcher in the big leagues. He made as many as 19 starts for Miami back in 2015.
First pitch, that looked like a good sinking fastball for a called strike.
Made 5 starts for the Marlins in 2016, and ever since then, last 3 seasons, strictly out of the bullpen.
Here's the next one, and the bat is cracked and the ball bounces right to Ford, the first baseman. He will solo it to the bag. The barrel of the bat ends up a couple feet back on the outfield grass over there on the right side, and Robinson Cano will retrieve it. 2 are gone.
I think Boyo recorded that one just in case. Sound effect. Broken bat.
Let's get cracking.
Where's the pistachios?
So here's Liriano, who's playing left for the Angels tonight.
Phelps overall in his career as a reliever, 164 games, ERA 3.33, 223 average against as a starter, and 64 starts at the big league level, 4.21 ERA, a 260 average against. Always has had the live arm.
No balls and 1 strike the count. Liriano takes that one, is in there for a strike. The Mariners bullpen would appear to be pretty good this season, and a lot of it just depends on Edwin Diaz, their closer. He had 34 saves last year, 3.27 ERA. He has been very good at times, and as a young closer, he's had some ups and downs in their bullpen.
The many troubles he had against the Angels last year, closing out ball games.
Actually lost his closer's role for a while back in May of last season, regained that role.
Talent-wise, it is all there.
He was 34 out of 39 last year, speaking of Diaz, in save situations. Had the 5 blown saves. The pitch, that's low. But they added Nicasio. Nick Vincent had a nice year for them. Phelps, a solid reliever working for them. They have Mark Zepchinski as well in their bullpen, the left-hander, the specialist. Pezos.
Altavilla. Factor.
Yeah, another guy who worked in some 41 games for them last year. 2-2 here on Liriano. He chases that fastball, goes down swinging, and the Angels have a quiet inning, go down 1-2-3. So we move to the bottom of the 5th here in Peoria. It's a 2-2 game, Angels and Mariners, on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. take over. Good job by Cam Bedrosian. He worked a 1-2-3 bottom of the fourth with a pair of strikeouts, so his night is over. And Blake Parker's night is ready to begin. First batter is Cameron Perkins, right-handed hitter.
Cam Bedrosian pumping strikes, hitting the zone, missing the zone, is missing some barrels too, and really spotted the fastball very well.
First delivery, and that one a pitch that is outside for ball one. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Parker himself, Terry, I'm sorry, on the rebound. He had a rough outing first time out.
Yeah, 4 hits, 3 runs in 1 inning. So here's the 1-0, and that's in there. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves right here on the Angels Baseball Radio Network.
2 strikeouts for Bedrosian.
Here's the 1-1 on the outside corner. That is a called strike. Jeffrey Marte, who left the ball game, had 1 at bat, and then Matt Thaiss came in to take over for him at first base. We're told he left the game with some right groin tightness.
In this cool night, better to just take it easy on a hot hitting Jeffrey Marte.
So hopefully that little injury he suffered tonight is not going to have him sidelined too long.
Boy, what a find Blake Parker was for the Angels after getting to the big leagues with the Cubs, having pitched with Seattle, by the way, in 2016 for 1 game, also with the Yankees. With the Angels last season, absolutely brilliant.
There's a pitch that is chased and missed by the batter Perkins, and Andrioli will be stepping up.
Warming in the Mariners bullpen, right-hander number 44.
Blake Parker a year ago held opposing batters to a 172 batting average. Fastball, slider, and that excellent split finger fastball.
There's an uptick on his fastball, and that was pretty much the difference maker for him. Started working out with a heavy ball, the size of a regular baseball, just a few more ounces heavier. So he just started throwing that around, and before you know it, by the recommendation of a couple of his former teammates, starting to get more zip on that fastball, a little more looseness to throw the splitter, and he was a different guy.
Andrioli was taking a 1-0 pitch. It was right in there for a strike. 1-1 the count.
Parker, of course, is one of those feel-good stories. Man, this guy's bounced around.
Next delivery, that's chased and missed. Looked like a good splitter right there. Blake Parker was arbitration eligible this past offseason. He signed a 1-year deal with the Angels, avoided arbitration.
Last spring, coming into his own, he had a .73 ERA in 12 1/3 innings. He struck out 24, including the last 17 batters that he faced here in the Cactus League.
So the count's 2-2.
A prime candidate to begin the season as the Angels closer.
Here's the pitch. It's fouled off on the right side, backing out of play. As far as spring training action, we have, well, 3 weeks remaining. And you mentioned Blake Parker in that fight for the closer's role. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Will the high leverage phrase come up as often as it did last year? Or will it be we're going to start with somebody as a closer? A designated closer.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count.
But Norris, who ended up saving or getting the bulk of opportunity to save games. Actually, Terry started the game yesterday for the Cardinals.
Yeah, he was an emergency starter yesterday.
Got roughed up and came out of that game injured.
First beginning of last spring here, we thought the Angel closer would be Houston Street, and he was injured in his very first appearance and never really factored into anything last season for the Angels. And there's another pitch chased and missed on a 3-2, and that's a strikeout on Andreoli. Chased a high one there. Back-to-back strikeouts for Parker, who's picked up where Bedrosian left off. He struck out the final 2 he faced last inning. Now the first 2 in this inning down on strikes, and the leadoff man D. Gordon will bat.
Popping that fastball. Yeah, Houston Street. Around this time last year, we're talking about Houston Street, the new guy that lost 12 pounds, had worked hard to get himself in better shape. First outing of the spring after maybe 10, 12 pitches. Has to come out.
Here's the pitch. That's fouled back behind the plate. And Street hasn't latched on with anyone this offseason. He's one of a lot of major league free agents still out there trying to find a job.
Yeah, nowadays that camp that they've had in Florida, start playing some scrimmages.
The pitch low and inside.
A little more lenient now too towards allowing media members and scouts to come in and watch.
Gordon, a 1-for-2 night, single and a fly out, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th, 2-2 here in Peoria. The pitch is fouled off on the left side. It's going to make its way back to the seats and out of play. Tomorrow we'll be back in Tempe for a day game. Quick turnaround time for the Angels. Probably see a lot of the Angel regulars in the lineup, and that would also include the hitter Shohei Ohtani. Likely the DH. We'll probably see Albert play some first base, and a lot of the other regulars, Trout and Simmons and Calhoun, Kinsler, Upton, all figure to be in there. Cozart.
That's a plan. Have Shohei be a hitter tomorrow.
Next delivery, hard hit and by the first baseman Theis. A one-hopper just by him. Going to roll down in the corner. Of course, Gordon can fly. He's not going to stop at second. He's headed for third, and the throw gets away. But backing up over there is Liriano, and it'll be a triple all the way for D. Gordon.
Tell you what, still one of the most exciting plays in baseball offensively is to see a guy hit a ball down the line, and just the anticipation of the fans, everybody that knows about D. Gordon and that tremendous speed as he's running the bases. That was a lot of fun to watch. Even as an opponent, let me tell you, he had some blazing turns around the bags.
Hit 9 triples last year, and will rack some up this season if he stays healthy.
Throw from Coward, I would say not necessary, but good to see Reimer Liriano in a good spot to go out there and back up the bag.
Yep, that was an alert play.
Reimer today in left field.
0-1 is the count on Segura. We'll see if Parker can keep that runner at third base. Angels haven't retired Segura tonight. Walking a homer in the next pitch, and he couldn't pull the trigger on that one. Now it's 0-2 on him.
Jean Segura, 2 trips to the disabled list last season. One of many, many Mariners that visited the DL.
He missed 37 games last year.
That's a full month plus.
Yep. Pitch on its way. That's high. 1-2.
Drew Smiley, Steve Cishek, Segura with an ankle and hamstring. Felix Hernandez twice on the DL. Mitch Haniger twice. James Paxton twice. Hisashi Iwakuma and Robinson Cano. When you talk about a pitching staff that suffered the injury bug, they were right there with the Angels.
Yeah, they used 40 pitchers a year ago, did the Mariners. There's one that's outside. So a 2-2 count. See what happens on the 2-2 delivery. Gordon at third, and here it comes, and that one misses low. So it's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Jean Segura took that pitch, risking taking a chance that he knew what was coming, and he was right. totally sitting off speed. It's a good, fine job of guessing there.
So we'll see what happens on the payoff delivery, and Parker is ready for it. Here it comes, and it's fouled straight back behind the plate. So the count is holding at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
He's ready for that fastball. 0-2 to 3-2. All 3 hitters for Blake Parker trying to find that command. Last fastball 92 miles an hour.
Parker got the first 2 batters on the strikeouts, but gave up the 2-out triple to Gordon. Now it's a full count on Segura. And the payoff once again, and he walked him just a little low and outside.
So what, just one thought of looking for one pitch. Splitter. Sitting on the fastball later after he did not throw for a strike. Just that one pitch that he was able to take for a ball turned the whole at bat around. Angels on the move, brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line, the official freight partner of the Angels and Major League Baseball. Jerry, I know you're on the move a lot, so Old Dominion right there with you.
Well, also on the move is the Angels pitching coach, Charlie Nagy, as he's out there, and the Angels have a little mound visit.
Count it. It counts.
Numero uno of the night.
You notice these mound visits are getting busier and busier. It's like, you know what? If anybody has anything to say, let's do it all now. Everybody come together. You go down the line. Okay, Charles Nagy.
All right.
Final word, because that clock is ticking too.
So here's Robinson Cano. He bats with 2 outs, 2 on in a 2-2 game here in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch, low and in. 1 ball, no strikes.
Robbie tied up with a fastball inside by Tyler Skaggs on a double play in the first inning. Then rolled over and hooked a soft ground ball to the right side on a breaking ball in the outer half last time out. Look for Robbie to turn the dial the other way now, thinking more middle.
Next pitch, grounded through the left side. That's going to give Seattle the lead. That's an RBI hit. Cano keeps the inning alive. His first hit of the night. 3-2 Seattle.
This is what makes him who he is. Just going back to the first 2 ABs, what went wrong? Little jumpy, perhaps maybe not seeing the ball well here under the lights, but just not being afraid to be late here, thinking middle, and there it is. That's why this man has been productive throughout his career with the RBIs, extra bases, and the power.
Mike Scioscia's coming out to the mound, so that's going to be it for Blake Parker. The pitch is starting to mount here in the inning. He struck out the first 2, but the next 3 all getting on safely and 1 coming in. We have a pitching change coming up. When we get back, we'll fill you in on who will be entering the game for the Angels. Right now, 3-2 Seattle, a pitching change coming up here in the bottom of the 5th on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. pitchers that they brought to tonight's game from the minor league camp. Tyler Wormuth, and we have seen him in 2 games this spring. He's just pitched 1 inning. He's allowed a hit and a run, walked a couple, and he's going to try and get the final out here, and he faces a very dangerous hitter in Nelson Cruz. So Blake Parker couldn't get through his inning. Gave up 2 hits right now, a run, the 2 on base is property, walked a batter, struck out 2. Wormuth is ready, and the first one on Cruz, he fouls it off the end of the bat over by the Angels dugout for strike 1.
That was a pretty good frisbee there. Nelson Cruz hitting dead red fastball, and Wormuth able to spin it just close enough to the zone, with Cruz hitting it off the end of the bat.
Cruz so far tonight, couple strikeouts, and they both came against Skaggs. There's one that's low and outside.
Sir, no stranger Nelson Cruz to the home runs. And when it comes down to a guy that has not suffered at all, after many thought he would suffer moving into the Seattle ballpark or to the American League West, he has maintained and even surpassed some of the levels that were expected out of him.
Next delivery, and that one misses up and in for a ball. So it's 2-1 on Nelson Cruz.
Since 2014, Nelson Cruz 166 home runs, followed by Edwin Encarnacion 153.
There's a slow breaking ball that got in there for a called strike, so the count's level. It's now 2-2.
Giancarlo Stanton, 3rd place since 2014. Again, Cruz 166, Encarnacion 153, Stanton 150, Donaldson 140, Mike Trout 139.
2-2, and this is hit to straightaway center field. Young is going back, has a beat on it, and makes the catch, and that is how the inning will end. So they do get the go-ahead run in, and they had 2 hits, also a walk, and they leave a couple runners on base. 6th inning is coming up here from Peoria. It's 3-2 Seattle on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West.
Swing into savings on all RV selections. Free parking, free admission, all happening at Angel Stadium in Anaheim.
Well, Jose, we have a new battery for Seattle. Their new catcher is David Freitas, and their new pitcher is Max Povsey. And the first pitch, that one is right in there. So
Fastball to Balbuena at 92.
Hovsey replacing Phelps, who had a 1-2-3 inning with a strikeout, and their fourth pitcher of the night is out there, and there's one that's fouled off by Balbuena as they have the right side infield shift on him.
Yeah, Balbuena already has a base hit on a bunt on a shift. But ideally, you want to try that with no strikes on you because of that reason. You don't do it enough, you're going to foul it off, and now you're 0-2.
There's a fastball that misses high. Hovsey is an intimidating guy out there on the mound. He goes 6'8". He's kind of a guy who reminds some scouts of Doug Fister, kind of built along his lines. Very tall and lean. Here's the next delivery, and that is a called third strike. Balbuena not happy with the call. He's out looking. There's one away here in the sixth.
Well, if it comes down to moving the baseball and being able to change speeds off of that fastball, give it different turns, yeah, Doug Fister is a good comparison.
The lineup: Angels reliever Blake Parker. Parker, 2/3 of innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And for Parker,
so here is Maldonado, who has
1 walk.
an 0. There's a pitch that he takes for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. All or nothing night so far for Maldonado. Strikeout is second time up. First time up, though, he hit one out of the ballpark. First inning homer for him.
Hey, we found his pops, by the way, Terry. He's here. Pops Maldonado.
I don't think he's missed a game since he's been here, home or on the road.
Puerto Rico.
No balls, 2 strikes is the count. Hovsey is set, and his next delivery, and that one misses low for a ball. Hovsey is rated as maybe a top 10 prospect in the Seattle organization, although their farm system overall is not rated very highly in Major League Baseball.
It has been declining one year after the other.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count. So with 1 out, nobody on, the count's even. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And here's the next pitch. And did that one tip his bat? Yes, it did. And the ball held onto by the catcher Freitas. That'll go down as a strikeout. Foul tip for strike 3. So a pair of strikeouts for Hovsey. And David Fletcher will be the next batter.
Here's one thing about Hovsey. He is not holding back. This is load up, rear back, and fire away. You've seen hit 94 miles an hour.
Here's a bouncing ball hit out the short, bobbled by Segura, throws to first, bounces it in there, but a nice stop by the first baseman Mike Ford, and the inning will end on a 6-3 ground out. Boy, Segura struggled with that one but never gave up on it, and though he bounced the throw and he was helped by the first baseman, the inning comes to an end. Angels go down 1-2-3 in the 6th. Bottom of the inning coming up. Seattle is up by a run. They lead it 3-2 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West.
3-2 Mariners over the Angels as the Angels go to the bullpen again. And right-hander Luke Bard makes his way to the mound. The first batter he'll face is Kyle Seager.
And we have wholesale changes for the Angels here as we start the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll run them all down in just a moment. I think we're all caught up with that. And the pitch, that one is in there for a strike. Kyle Seager is the batter. Jose mentioned Bard is pitching. Juan Gratterall's the catcher. Sherman Johnson now at second. Jose Miguel Fernandez at third base, and the shortstop is Colin Walsh. Jabari Blash is now the new left fielder for the Angels. The new center fielder is Jahmai Jones. The new right fielder is Brandon Lund. So Bard with the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. And here's the next pitch that's fouled off the screen, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes on the out-of-town scoreboard. It's being brought to you tonight by the Ram 1500. It's Ram Truck Month. Hurry in for a great deal or visit ramtrucks.com to check out the powerful Ram lineup. Earlier in the day, Cactus League, Giants split squad beat Cleveland 13-4. The other Giants split squad beat Texas 9-4. It was the White Sox beating the Royals 9-5. Padres beat the A's 10-4. Cubs over the Reds 7-4. It's a pitch inside, it misses. Dodgers had 19 hits today. 14 runs, beat Arizona 14-6. And Colorado a 5. Well, let's update that one. Milwaukee beat Colorado today. The final was 6-5. Check out the Grapefruit League after Bard's pitch. This is hit on 1 hop and stopped by the shortstop. Walsh playing on the right side with the shift on. He makes a nifty play on that short hopper, and that'll be the first out. 6-3 will be the scoring on that ground out, even though it was hit on the right side of the infield.
Well, there are many times you come into a game, yes, the ball will find you. You're ready. Sometimes when you're in a shift, you got to find yourself knowing how far you could go right or left. And this one hit hard enough where there's no thinking involved, just reaction there by Colin Walsh, who does a very fine job securing the baseball in a tough hop.
There's David Freitas, who just entered the ball game, their new catcher, and he's batting for the first time. Zunino was hitting out of the 6th slot. He went 1 for 2. He's left the ball game now. First one in there on Freitas, right-hander against right-hander. And Bard's next pitch, that one is cut on and missed. As far as the Angels right-hander, Luke Bard appearing in his 4th game. 2 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs all earned. He's given up a homer, walked 1, struck out 2. Struggled in a recent appearance in relief for the Angels. Looks good so far here in his 1st inning tonight. That one just missed. In Florida, in the Grapefruit League today, Yankees beat Boston 5-3. Tampa Bay over Detroit 7-4. Atlanta a 9-2 win against the Cardinals. Washington beat the Astros 8-1. Phillies split squad dropped a pair. They lost to Baltimore 4-2 and lost to Pittsburgh 4-3. There's strike 3 on Freitas for the 2nd out here in the Seattle 6th inning, and now Ford will be the batter. The other 2 games in Florida earlier today, Miami shut out the Mets 1-0. That game just 1 run and only 10 hits between the 2 teams.
So we got Jose Ureña, who led the Marlins in wins last year, throwing the ball well.
Yeah, won his 2nd game. Noah Syndergaard pitched well, but lost that game for the Mets. And Toronto outslugged Minnesota today, beat them by the final of 13-8.
Have some viewers checking in, Terry, from West Palm Beach, by the way. Some Angels fans are visiting the Grapefruit League and got to see some games earlier today in the Sunshine State. In that game, Toronto beating out Minnesota 13-8. A lot of former Angels, Terry. Ryan Lamar, remember him?
Yeah, outfielder.
He hit a home run. He went 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs for Minnesota. Minnesota has a bunch of former Angels. And Taylor Featherston, also with the Twins in camp, hit a home run. Eric Ibar is with the Twins, is of course Irvin Santana.
All right, Mike.
Rodney is with them.
Fernando Rodney, new closer, all-star closer.
1-2 is the count here on Ford. And the next pitch, a little bit low.
Former Mariners closer, Fernando Rodney. Well, the Angels not really ever assigned that role. And when he was given the opportunity in a close window, he struggled. But later became a dominant closer for Joe Madden in the Tampa Bay Rays.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the count here on Ford.
Randall Grichuk now with the Toronto Blue Jays, played in that ball game. Former Angels first rounder. Kendrys Morales today played for the Jays. Got to see if Eric Ibar can have a good spring and be a good mentor and a good player for the Twins and Paul Molitor. Surprise playoff team last year. What a fine season they had.
So it's a 2-2 count, and Bard's next delivery tried to sneak a fastball inside, and that one missed. So full count. Bard is pitcher number 5 of the night. We've seen Skaggs. He went 3 innings. Bedrosian an inning. Parker 2/3 of an inning. Warmoth retired, the only batter he faced, the 1/3 of an inning, and now Luke Bard. Payoff delivery, and that one's low. He walks him.
Mariners last year ended up with 78 wins, 84 losses. Terry, they got off to a 1-6 start. Eventually played some decent baseball, and they were right there shoulder to shoulder with the Angels at one point during the season, but eventually just the many injuries caught up with them.
Cameron Perkins is the batter, and he is a right-handed hitter, and that one is right in there. We talked a little bit earlier tonight about Seattle and all the pitchers they used last year. 40 of them. They had 17 different guys start a game for them last year. Wow. 17 different starting pitchers.
Drew Smiley was supposed to be on top of that rotation before you know it in March. So for the elbow injury and had surgery eventually.
Here's one that's chopped to short. The flip to Johnson by Walsh will force out Ford, and the inning is over on the fielder's choice. So a good inning for Luke Bard as he retires 3 of the 4 that he faces here in the bottom of the 6th. We move to the 7th. Angels down by a run here in Peoria, 3-2 in favor of Seattle on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Have a lot of changes here for Seattle. We'll run them down for you in just a moment. The pitcher is still Max Povsey. He came in last inning, retired 3 in a row, and Chris Carter leads things off for the Angels. He's batting for Rene Rivera and just fouled a pitch off over on the right side, backing out of play. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike on Carter.
Carter so far 3 for 9 this spring. He's got a home run, 3 RBIs. Only 2 strikeouts. Been putting the ball in play at a more decent rate.
He was taking, and that one is in there for a strike. Looks like the Mariners have a whole new defensive scheme in the outfield, and that's a breaking ball. Posey thought he had Carter looking, but that pitch is called a ball by Doug Eddings. 2-2 is the count. And the right-hander ready on the next pitch, and that one missed inside for a ball.
Fastball's got some life, and it's got some late tail action into the hands of the right-handed batter.
It's like they have Luis Liberato now playing in left field for them. And on the 3-2, Carter takes that off-speed pitch, and he is out looking. Not too happy with the call on that one. Didn't get it to go his way, and down on a 3-2 delivery. So that's another strikeout for Posey, who struck out 2 out of 3 last inning. He struck out the first one he's faced here in the 7th. And the batter will be Matt Thaiss, who's homered his only time up. And that's in there for a strike. So again, in left field, they have Luis Liberato. They have a new center fielder as well. That's Braden Bishop. That pitch is in there for a strike. So the count's 0-2 on Thaiss. And also in right field now is Anthony Jimenez. Jonathan Mendoza is now playing shortstop for them. There's one line foul on the left side that's backing out of play. Chris Mariscal is now in at second base for Robinson Cano. And Kyle Seager's left the ball game. Adam Law is the new third baseman. There's one. It's bounced off his glove as he tried to make a diving stop on it. Can't come up with it, and that's going to be an infield hit all the way. That was not a easy play by any stretch, as Law, the new third baseman, went diving to his left in the shortstop hole and had that one skip off his glove. He just couldn't quite get to it.
Thaiss at 1.1 for 11 with 6 strikeouts in the spring. He has come up big now, going the other way, solidly slashing the ball to the left side. 2 for 2 today. It's now 5 for 16.
So the batter now is Jose Miguel Fernandez. First time up for him. He's hitting out of Hermosillo's spot, number 6 spot for the Angels, and the first one on Fernandez in there for a strike.
Fernandez has played a lot. 7th game already. Started this spring 0 for 10. And went 2 for 2. So far 2 for 12 for him. Playing some second base and some third base where the Angels want to see him.
Here's the next pitch, and that one is in there for a called strike. So both teams now getting a lot of their reserve players that are on the roster for tonight's game in the ball game. Next delivery, that one is low. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 7th inning. Angels down by a run, 3-2. See what happens on the 2-strike pitch as Fernandez awaits. Lefty batter, and the pitch that's low and inside. Fastball 94 miles per hour.
I'm watching the Mariners in their postseason drought that dates back to 2001, the last postseason appearance. Went back and looked how many managers they have paraded through that dugout just since Mike Scioscia took over. Mike Scioscia's 19th season with the Angels.
Here's a little bouncer hit on the right side. Only one chance for an out first. The throw is in time to get Fernandez, so it'll be a 4-3 ground out. Fleiss moves up to second, and with 2 outs, we want to remind you to get your red on. Support the Angels every home game this year with 2018 Angels season seats. For more info, call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/season seats.
So Terry, the manager's list since Mike Scioscia took over with the Angels with the Seattle Mariners, 10.
I was kind of wondering what number you were going to give, and I thought it would be close to double figures.
10 managers.
Wow.
Lou Piniella, Bob Melvin, Mike Hargrove, John McLaren, Jim Riggleman, Don Wakamatsu, Darren Brown, Eric Wedge, Lloyd McClendon, and now Scott Service. And they seen only one man across the other dugout in Angel Red.
And Scott Service is in the final year of his contract, and so is the general manager of the Mariners, Jerry DiPoto.
So is Mike Scioscia.
There's a pitch that's in there for a strike. They had a little bit of a shakeup as far as their coaching staff in the offseason. Tim Bogar, who was the bench coach, and Casey Candell, who was the first base coach. They were each dismissed after last season. Of course, the Angels made some changes in their coaching staff in the offseason as well.
Dave Hansen no longer here. Eric Hinsky takes over.
Ron Renicky moving from the Angels over to the Red Sox to be their new bench coach.
Interesting story. Pretty cool, though. Ron Renicky managed Alex Cora in the Dodger minor league system.
Yeah. There's a pitch on a 0-2 delivery that Walsh takes, and he is out looking. And well, the Angels have had 3 batters get called out on strikes in the last 2 innings. So here in the 7th, 1 out hit, and that was it. Runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 7th inning stretch time here in Peoria. The Angels still trailing by a run to Seattle. It's 3-2 Mariners on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. And we think we're on top of this one because the pitcher that was announced to the fans here is not the pitcher who's actually going to pitch for the Angels.
This is a pitcher that threw for the Angels last season. His name is Eduardo Paredes.
Yep. So they announced Osmer Morales pitching.
I think this confusion comes all the way from the clubhouse, by the way.
Yeah.
Not listed on anything today, but Can't go wrong with identifying this guy right here.
Yeah, we know what he looks like, and there's the pitch, and that one is in there for a strike. So this is Liberato who's batting, Luis Liberato. And this is his first time up. This reminds me, Jose, maybe you'll remember in just a moment. Here's a fly ball lifted into center field, and under to make the catch out there is Jahmai Jones. So Liberato is retired. Where a number of years ago we were in a spring training game in Goodyear at Goodyear Stadium. And you might remember better than me, but obviously it was against either the Reds or the Indians. I think it was against the Reds. And it was announced that someone was batting for the Angels, and it turned out to be Tyler Lindsey, and he hit a home run. and he was not announced as the Angel batter.
Taylor Lindsey, that's right.
Right.
Yep.
And then we kind of picked up on it as he was rounding the bases. We're thinking, no, this isn't so-and-so who they just announced. It was one of the Angel minor leaguers, and it was Taylor Lindsey who hit that home run.
It happens, and our apologies. Sometimes the information is not accurate on what we get. But, you know, there's somebody's kid out there, somebody's brother, somebody's husband or boyfriend, something. I want to get it right for you.
Yep. Here's Braden Bishop lining one down the right field side. Diving is Lund, and he can't make the catch. Bishop, his first time up, is going to head for third and get there with a stand-up triple. So that's out number. Well, there's one out. Now there's a runner at third base against Paredes. This is going to be Mendoza getting ready to bat for them. Jonathan Mendoza, he came in to play shortstop. This will be his first time up. He's hitting out a Segura spot. And he will swing from the left side. Angels never got out Segura tonight. He had 2 walks, and he also had a 2-run homer, and there's a pitch that is in there for strike 1.
Eduardo Paredes has served as a closer in the minor leagues. Live arm, 92, 94 miles an hour. Slider, changeup. Pretty decent changeup. Was able to get a good feel for it and get in some good counts to throw it.
There's a pitch on its way. That one is lifted in the air to right center field, and coming over making the grab is Lund, tagging as the runner at third, and the throw is going to be wide up the third base side, and that'll be a sac fly for Mendoza. So it's the second out. They add on. It's now 4-2. And the number 3 spot in the batting order will be stepping up, and this is Chris Mariscal, who gets ready for his first at bat tonight. He's hitting out a Cano spot. First delivery in there for strike 1. Paredes replacing Luke Bard, who pitched last inning for the Angels. He worked a hitless and scoreless inning, ended up walking 1, striking out 1. And there's one that's cut on and missed, and the count jumps to 0-2. Paredes is appearing in his 3rd game and touched for a run for the first time. He had worked just an inning and a third of no-run action. Counts 0-2, and the next pitch grounded on the right side out of the reach of Theis. That's going to bounce through into right center field. So the inning isn't over yet. They get their second hit in the inning. 2-out base runner now. So Joe DiCarlo is the pinch hitter here. And that's for Cruz, who was their DH tonight. Nelson Cruz, quiet night, 0 for 3, a couple strikeouts. We're in the bottom of the 7th. It's now 4-2 Seattle. Here's the pitch. That one misses high.
Oh, Terry, we're talking numbers and names and identifying the right players on the field for you all. This spring training, less players invited to camps throughout baseball, but more minor leaguers being brought in to play and fill some of those holes. And because of that, well, the Angels made the national news because they had 3 number 9s on the field.
Yeah, we were talking about that
the
yesterday.
attention of many people.
Yep, that kind of took off a little bit after the game, and people were kind of taking issue with it. Here's the pitch. That one is a pitch high and then a snap throw by Gratterol up the first base side. The runner Marisco gets back to the bag.
Yeah, 3 number 9s on the field. We know we had the names, we just couldn't identify the positions at times. Easy solution to that. If you're going to be in a big league game, just issue a new jersey. You're going to cross over to camp. Here's a jersey for today. Solved.
Right. Not too complicated.
And of course, it happens that guys are working out in AA or AAA teams in the minor league camp, and they just bring their jerseys, and you can't blame them.
Well, the Angels do have a number 9 out there right now. That's Brandon Lund in right field. Here's the pitch. That's a line shot in the center. That's going to be a base hit, and they're going to have runners at the corners. Joe DiCarlo comes in and gets a pinch hit single, and Paredes is having trouble getting the final out here. 3rd hit in the inning. Adam Law will be the next batter. Law came into the game, took over for Kyle Seager, who went 0 for 3, and he's hitting out of Seager's number 5 spot in the batting order, taking over for him at third base.
I was going to say, we had one of those number 9s was Sherman Johnson, right? He was. Well, today he's wearing number 45.
Right.
Terry?
Well, we're making
Stay
progress.
Hot. Yes.
Keep it up, Jose. We're making progress.
Thank you. Sherman Johnson, 45, second base.
Here's the next pitch. That's low, and it misses for a ball. It's 1 ball, 1 strike on Law. Paredes is ready. He's pitcher number 5 of the 6th of the night for the Angels, and there's when it's fouled off. So the count's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Angels still have a couple more cracks against Seattle. Have the 8th and 9th inning here. See if the Angels can mount a little comeback down by a pair right now. And Paredes trying to keep it a 2-run lead. A hit would mean another run here. Runners at first and third with 2 outs. It's way in front, and the 1-2 popped foul again. Right side. That's going to push back to the walkway behind the box seat section. And so it's still 1-2.
9,756. 9,756.
We have a real nice crowd here tonight, and the attendance 9,756.
Excellent. Well, we've got to look at the berm before the game, and you figure, well, if that's how it's going to start, it's going to start eventually filtering all the way into this ballpark, Peoria Stadium. Very nice attendance here tonight.
Here's the next delivery, and he changes speeds on that one and gets him to chase it. Struck him out, and that'll end the inning. If Seattle gets a run, they had 3 hits to leave a pair of runners on base. And now the Angels head to the 8th down 4-2 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. and he will be their 5th of the night. Max Povsey leaves. Jabari Blash is the first batter for the Angels here, and the new pitcher is Yohendi Himidian. Here's the next delivery, and that's a pitch chased and missed, 1-1.
Blash has gotten to play a lot. 6th game already. He is 0 for 11.
And the pitch, he is checking on that one, and the count's 2 balls and a strike. Next pitch right in there for strike 2. See what happens on the 2-2. That's taken for a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jabari Blash was originally in the Mariners organization, never played for Seattle, however. And he takes that 3-2 pitch, and that will be a leadoff walk. So the Angels will get their first batter on base to start off the 8th inning. Povsey, who worked the last couple of innings, did a good job against the Angels. He gave up 1 hit, no runs, and he struck out 4 batters, didn't walk any. Here's Juan Gratterall set to bat. Gratterall hitting out the number 9 spot, and he takes that one for a called strike. Gratterall's had 4 at-bats this spring with 1 hit.
Primary Angels backup last year. Carlos Perez made the team as a backup to Martin Maldonado before he was optioned out when Gratterall was reacquired by the Angels after he had been in Toronto Blue Jays camp.
Himidian, who's pitching, this is his first appearance this spring here for Seattle, up from their minor league camp. And the right-hander's delivery, that's bounced foul over on the right side, so it's 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. 8th inning, Angels down by a pair. It's 4-2 Seattle. Angels had an early lead tonight, and there's one waved at and missed, and an off-speed pitch gets Gratterall. That's the first out. With Himidian walking the first batter he faced here in this 8th inning. That's the only Seattle walk issue tonight by their 5 pitchers, so they've done a good job on the mound. They had Whalen start, and Nicasio and Phelps each pitched a scoreless inning. Povsey 2 scoreless innings, and now a young pitcher from their minor league system working, Yohendi Himidian. This is Jam Jones batting. Runner goes. Pitch is a strike. Throw to second, and gunned down trying to steal is Blash.
1 strike to the other from home plate from the throw from Freitas into second base. Easy tag at second base. Mariscal just have to drop the glove.
So now 2 outs in the inning with nobody on. Jones has gone 2 for 12 this spring for the Angels. He's had an RBI. Counts even on him now. 1-1. And here's the next pitch. That's grounded sharply, but at the shortstop, about a foot back on the outfield grass. Mendoza gets it and throws out the speedy Jam Jones to end the inning. That was close over there at first base. He's called out, and the Angels are retired. Bottom of the 8th is next here in Peoria. The Angels trail Seattle at the moment 4-2 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. David Freitas will be the first batter. And the Angels have a new pitcher. Brandon Pinder takes over for Paredes, and the first pitch, and that one is in there for strike. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the Angels Baseball Radio Network.
Defensive changes for the Angels now catching number 98, Jack Kruger. 98 Kruger catching in at right field. Number 25, Kyle Servais. Right field.
Next delivery, and that one is in there for a called strike. So the count is 0-2 here on Freitas. He's a right-handed batter. It's like Kyle Servais is now playing right field for the Angels, and on an 0-2 pitch, Freitas chases that one and misses it. Struck him out. So that'll be the first out. And Matt Hague will be the next batter. This will be his first time up, hitting out of Ford's spot in the batting order, the number 7 spot. Ford was 0 for 2 with a walk. Looks like Jack Kruger is now catching for the Angels. So the 2 moves here in the inning. Servais in right, replacing Lund, and Kruger behind the plate, replacing Gratterall. New pitcher is Pinder, is pumping in some strike series in front on Hague, and the 0-1. He misses high and inside with that one. Kyle Servais is a guy who has seen quite a bit of playing time. He's been up from minor league camp for a number of games. There's one that's fouled off down the right side, backing out of play. 1-2 is the count as Pinder works for the Angels. He is appearing in game number 4 this spring. Just an inning and 2/3 coming into tonight. 1 hit, 2 runs, 2 walks, and he's had a loss so far this spring in the Cactus League.
You talk about him pumping strikes. He's able to pump strikes with his fastball, moving it well to both sides of the plate, elevation, and also a pretty decent breaking ball, and a lot of separation between that breaking ball. 85 miles an hour, 83 miles an hour, and a fastball in the low 90s.
Pinder replacing Paredes, who worked last inning, and the next delivery, fly ball lifted to Jahmai Jones out there in center. He's in perfect position to make the grab out there, and that's the second out. So Hague is retired, 2 away. This bottom of the 8th inning being brought to you by our friends at Rotolo Chevrolet in Fontana, the #1 Chevrolet dealer in California. Rotolo is pursuing excellence every day, so visit them at rotolo.com. Anthony Jimenez set to bat. His first at bat of the night. First delivery, that's chased and missed for strike 1.
Not related to Chris Jimenez.
No, he's not that I'm aware of. There's a pitch that misses, and the count's even. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on Jimenez, Anthony Jimenez. Here's the next delivery, and here's one that's hit way high in the air, foul down the left field side.
That's the best thing that happened. Nobody had to get under that one.
Yep, way out of play.
It was above the lights at one point.
Mariners have action in their bullpen, so we'll probably see someone take over for the 9th inning. Here's the pitch. That's fouled back to the screen.
Terry, working to see if Dino Ebo is our guest after the game. Give us a little perspective on camp, playing under the lights, mapping out some things here for the rest of the spring for the regular players. What do you think of Dino?
Sounds good to me.
Sure.
all for it. I love hearing Dino talk baseball. And there's one that is chased and missed, and that is a strikeout for Pinder. Nice inning for him. He sets him down 1-2-3 with a pair of strikeouts here in the bottom of the 8th. So the Angels have one more shot. We go to the 9th inning right now, 4-2 Seattle on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Two. Sherman Johnson at the plate, cuts at the first pitch and fouls that one off on the left side out of play. This is his first at bat tonight. And the new pitcher for Seattle was a former Angel, Mike Morin. He's trying to win a spot in their bullpen. And the pitch, that's fouled off on the left side again. No balls, 2 strikes. Morin was with the Angels and the Royals last season, just 16 games in the majors, and his ERA was 7.20. He was claimed off waivers by Seattle from Kansas City this past December. And the pitch, that one pitch that Johnson checks on and misses. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Former 13th round pick of the Angels, Mike Morin, back in the 2012 June draft. Best year with the Angels was 2 years later in 2014 when he went 4-4 in 60 relief appearances with a 2.90 ERA, but he's never put up those kind of numbers since and has moved around a little bit. 2-2 the count. Morin signed a 1-year deal with Seattle in the offseason. And here's the 2-2 on Johnson. He takes it. He's out looking. Struck him out. 1 away. Seattle pitching with some strikeouts tonight. They've had 11 and they've walked just 1 Angel hitter. So Jack Kruger will be the batter. This is his first time up. He's hitting out of the number 3 spot. Morin's pitch. That's a shot into center field and a low liner. It's going to be caught out there by Braden Bishop. He ended up going down catching that one. It was low to begin with and it was sinking on him, but he makes the grab. Ball couldn't have been hit any harder by Kruger, but he's the second out and the Angels are down to their final out in this ball game. Chris Carter, the next hitter. Morin's pitch, and this is a fly ball lifted into center field, coming in, falling down, and making another catch out there is Bishop, and that's how the inning will end. Well, yeah, a little trouble staying on his feet, but he made the plays, and just like that, this one comes to an end here in Peoria, with Seattle posting the victory tonight by the final score of 4-2. So the Angels will get ready to head back to Tempe Diablo, where the day game tomorrow, the Sunday afternoon affair, a rematch of a game earlier this week with Matt Shoemaker taking on Colorado's John Gray. The ball game, a quick one tonight, just 2 hours and 36 minutes. We had a crowd of 9,756 on hand. The winning pitcher for Seattle was David Phelps, and the losing pitcher for the Angels tonight was Blake Parker. So the Angels fall here tonight to the Seattle Mariners by the final score of 4-2. Jose Mota is going to have a chance to visit down by the Angels dugout, and he is there with Dino Ebo. Take it away, Jose.
Thanks, Terry. Well, under the lights, any advice you were able to pass on to the guys, of course, making the adjustment here to the towers?
Well, it's a good night for us to you know, it's our first night under the lights. A little bit of adjustment the first 3 innings on both sides, but they came out swinging at bats. Maldonado went deep in that, in that inning, and yeah, it was a good night for us to get under the lights and play a game.
New spring, new group. What do you like the most of what you're having to deal with here in the clubhouse?
Oh, it's just a great atmosphere. The guys are, you know, they're meshing well together with, you know, the additions of Kinsler and Cozart and Jay Upton in left field. But with Ohtani, it's been a lot of fun. The guys are coming together. We're starting to get the lineup out there now and, on an everyday basis. So it's been really, really good.
You know, now you found yourself almost in a mentor capacity. Josh Paul as a bench coach for the Angels. Anything you've been able to at least help him with to say this is how to best deal with Mike Soch and make your suggestions in game?
Yeah, we've been communicating every day. Just know, just trying to tell Josh what Mike looks for in a game, and all the advanced stuff that we get from upstairs, and just the daily routine from starting in the morning, from scheduling and, you know, putting lineups together. It's been really great, and it's been working out really good.
We all know there's got to be that combination in spring training between getting guys ready, not rushing them, but also, yes, the clock is ticking. Regular players, what is the plan with the at-bats moving forward?
Well, you're going to start seeing a lot more guys. You know, those guys are going to start playing more, getting consistent bats, going maybe 2 games, 3 games at a time with a day off, then 4. You know, it's you're going to start to see this coming up. They're all ready to do it. Good workout this morning. They're going to be ready to go tomorrow.
And your kids to keep ready and keep swinging.
Yes, they will. They'll be here on the 16th.
Thanks, Dino. Well, Terry, as always, good to hear from Dino about the players, but also about his kids, who are wonderful baseball players themselves.
Yeah, they sure are. We've watched them grow up right in front of our eyes, and a couple of young men who certainly figure to be pretty good players as they get a little bit older and enter their teenage years and on forward. So the Angels drop it here tonight by the final score of 4-2. And we want to thank you for joining us here from Peoria Stadium at the Peoria Sports Complex. Now, for those of you watching on Fox Sports West, Jose Mota and Ken French will have a lot more post-game analysis coming up on Angels Live. And on the radio side, we'll have more post-game coverage for you on our flagship station, Angels Radio, AM 830. And the final tonight, Seattle over the Angels 4-2. Thanks for joining us tonight on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West.